What's up, everybody? This is Jim Benson, the Viking Hobbit, coming back at you again with another episode. I'm sitting here with the what we call the new blood of Dirty South, the young guys. We got Nate Dogg, we got Nick, aka Harambe, and then we got Baby J, our big buddy. So what's up, guys?
I want to start off by saying my real name is Hunter.
It's Baby J.
Whatever you say.
Nah, Hunter's been here. You've been here
2 years.
Is it 2 years?
Yeah.
A little over 2 years now. It's come a very long way since he started, and it's been awesome to have him here and watch him grow, especially the other guys too. How long?
I've been here about a year and a half.
About a year and a half. About the same for you, ain't it?
2 years.
2?
David.
That's right. That's
We're
right.
brothers.
With your little hiatus that you took.
Yeah.
Now you're still in school, right?
Yep.
Nate? And you senior this year?
I'm in college.
I knew that. How did I know that? I knew that.
Freshman.
How's school going?
That's pretty good. Doing machine and tool.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. But what's the biggest difference you noticed since from high school to transition to college?
Well, high school was a lot more fun.
Oh,
For
man.
me, anyway.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to a tech school now and just don't know anybody like I did in high school.
Really?
Yeah.
A little bit more freedom though, ain't it?
A lot more freedom, but I don't know. I liked high school more. It was
Okay.
more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nick, what do you do?
Right now I'm a welder and I'm in EMT school.
EMT school? Okay. How's that going?
It's going alright. I skipped it to come to the gym tonight. Priorities.
Priorities. That's it. That's it. That's it. And what do you do?
I work at an electrical design company.
Okay.
We do I specifically do like AutoCAD drafting,
Yeah.
and I'm also a senior in college at Middle Georgia.
Okay.
I'm studying math.
Okay. How's that going?
It was a mistake.
Mistake?
Yeah.
How's it a mistake?
Because I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life
Yeah.
when I started college, and I thought that maybe picking a math degree
Yeah.
would be a good route because there's a lot of jobs you can get out of that.
Yeah.
People always ask like, oh, what are we gonna be a math teacher or something like that? No, there's really a ton of jobs. Lots of like finance jobs and stuff like that, which is what I kind of thought that I wanted to do. Something financial.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And now I'm pretty much at the end of it, and I'm like, I don't want to do that anymore.
Okay.
And math as a whole is kind of, some of it's kind of neat,
Yeah.
but they don't teach you the cool stuff.
Yeah.
They teach you all the boring stuff, and it's not what I thought it was going to be at the beginning of it, but I'm going to go ahead and finish it up because I have one more semester left.
Okay. Okay. What now when you come, how did you find us at Dirty South?
I'm the one who found out about it out of the three of us. I told both of them.
Yeah.
I was sitting in class, before I became a math major, I was majoring in health and physical education.
Okay.
And I was taking my first teaching class, which I also didn't like that route very much, so I changed over to math.
Yeah.
But, and I was reading the old Westside Barbell Louis Simmons article.
Okay.
And there was a girl sitting behind me. I can't remember what her name is. She claimed to be Shane's sister, but he later told me it was really his cousin. I don't know why she told me that.
Oh, okay.
She was like, hey, my brother, Shane, his name's Shane Hammock. You may have heard of him. He went to Westside
Yeah.
for a little while. And at first I was kind of like, I don't think she knows what she's talking about. She was like, you should look him up. So I looked him up on Facebook and saw a video of him bench pressing like 900 pounds to a one board. And I was like,
Oh, yeah.
That's where I need to be.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do.
And you contacted us on the Facebook page, wasn't
Yes,
it?
I did.
Yeah. Okay, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
What was your first impression of this place when you walked in?
The atmosphere.
Atmosphere?
Yes.
It's like a place to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's definitely one thing that we strive to do is have that atmosphere. When you walk in the door, you get just damn goosebumps. You know,
Yes,
all your hair
yes.
stands on. You ain't got to raise your hand, Nick. Just pipe in.
First time I came in here, I think it was a squat night, and I saw you, And I think you had a G on your back that night. I've never seen anybody even stand up with 1,000 pounds in person.
Really?
So honestly, I was scared shitless. I was intimidated, but you guys welcomed me with open arms.
That's good. Yeah, we welcome anybody. Oh, look, it's Fathead Shane. Oh, no, he don't want to come in. Well, find in.
Special guest commentary.
Yeah.
The first workout I did when I came in here was a Friday, and Shane had asked me to come in because I contacted Shane through the Facebook page.
Yeah.
I came in and I was like, "Wow, it's really dark in here. It's kind of cool."
Oh, yeah.
I first walked in. That was really, I guess, my first impression was it was really dark.
Yeah, well,
So
I
the lights
mean,
were off.
yeah, I mean, you know, we keep the lights off. We got the one security light to stay on. That's our good opposing light for the mirrors.
Yeah. But I came in here and I knew that this is where I needed to be because Shane put me through. I was a little bit out of shape because I've been working out. I lifted my entire time through high school for football.
Yeah.
And then I did mixed martial arts for a couple of years, and then I took a couple of months break from everything, and then I started lifting with my brother again. I lifted for about a whole month, and I thought I was kind of prepared to come in here and get through a workout. And he put me through one of the toughest workouts I've been through.
Really?
And I was like, at first I kind of questioned. I was like, am I going to want to train like this for the rest of my life to get where I need to be?
Yeah.
And I sat about it, and I thought on it for a second. I was like, yeah, I'm willing to do that.
Yeah. Okay.
It's funny looking back at it. It was the hardest workout I'd ever done, and now it's just a normal day workout.
Yeah, it takes a little while. Even for me, like when we started the conjugate system, of course, it took me a while to understand the terminologies and what it actually meant to do, and of course, it teaches you about yourself more than anything, because you have to learn, you know, what you need as a, you know, individual, because what you need might not is what Hunter needs, and Nate might need something completely different as far as your weaknesses and stuff go, and you know, it really teaches you how to, you know, listen to yourself, pay attention to, you know, little minute details and stuff like that. As far as when you're training, you'd be like, all right, I'm missing this. So what would make this stronger? Or I'm having trouble with my lockout. What would make my bench lockout stronger? Stuff like that. So it takes a little while to get adjusted to it, acclimated, and then, you know, you finally get in groove. It just goes from there. All right, so Nate and Hunter, y'all have actually done, let's see, what, 2 competitions?
I've done 2.
Done 2. You just done 1, okay. But Nate, what was your numbers? You remember?
On squat I got either 365 or 385.
Okay.
Bench was 245 and deadlift was 405.
Okay. And how long had you been here when you did that first competition?
It was maybe a year or so.
Not quite. It's about 6 months.
6 months.
Somewhere in there, yeah. All right. You know, you come in, you work out for about 6 months. You feel like you're ready. You know, we throw you through the training cycle. How was your first meet experience?
Well, it was pretty great. I had some competition, some good competition.
Yeah, you and Timbo were going at it that day.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a good day. Yeah. What did you think? I mean, was you really nervous?
I was so nervous.
Oh yeah, I puke at every competition.
Before my first squat, my knees were shaking so bad.
Really?
After the first squat, though, I was...
Yeah, you get that first squat in, because to me, warming up for the squat is like the worst part of the whole damn day. It just, especially, you know, being in the gear and stuff, you have to prep, do all this, wrap your knees, do, you know, straps, all this, and it's so mind-boggling, and it's stressful too. And it's kind of like, I kind of relate it to football. You know, coaches tell you go out there and knock the shit out of somebody at the very first play and get all the nerves out. It's kind of like that. You know, you get that first squat in, you feel good, and then, you know, tone set for the rest of the meeting. So, like that. Zach, you want to join us?
What y'all talking about?
We talking about life, son.
I feel like I'm about to die.
Feel like you hit it pretty hard tonight.
Beer got you good.
That's all right. Now we're gonna get it next week. Get that bench opener in.
Me too.
We're gonna try.
That's right. You got your bench opener next week. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. Nick's about to do his first competition ever. That's April 28th. Yeah. And you're doing all 3, right?
Yep.
Okay. How do you feel about it going in?
Well,
I've waited so long because when I got here I was 300 pounds and I wanted to cut.
Yeah.
So I'm cutting and I got my numbers up, sharpened the iron, and now I feel confident going in this meet.
Good. That's right. Tell everybody about, your weight loss journey.
Well, I started at about 296 pounds, and then I came in here, I was asking everybody what to do, because we have a guy here, Big Joe,
Mm-hmm.
who lost a bunch of weight.
Yeah.
And at Dirty South, it really doesn't matter what you want to do, but the people around here are going to help you strive to reach your goals.
I mean, whether you want to get stronger, get toned up, lose weight. I mean, all we ask anybody that comes in here, just, you work your butt off and you have fun doing it. And what type of, as far, now, before you come here, did you ever try to work on your weight any, or?
Well, I wasn't always as big as I was, and I went to college, and I was a partying fiend.
Yeah?
And so
Party days, huh?
That's why I ended up back in Warner Robins, because I partied way too much.
I gotcha.
I just let myself go, honestly.
Yeah. It can be easy to do. I've seen a lot of people do it, and there was times even, during my career, I've kind of let myself go some, and I had to kind of reset myself and be like, all right, let's get back on track and do what we got to do, and say you're weighing what now?
Right now I stepped on the scale. I was 236, but I got down to 206.
Really?
And now I'm just bulking back up.
So that's good. That's good. About 100-pound loss,
Yeah,
wasn't
90
it?
pounds.
Yeah, and you surprised all of us, because with the weight loss, of course, you didn't really have a lifting background before this, did you? So you didn't really, you started out as you was lifting, you didn't really lose strength, because at the same time you was trying to build your strength from the ground up. So you didn't really have to worry about losing, your base strength and your leverages and all that stuff, because you're trying to find that as you was losing weight. So that was pretty cool to see you transition through all that.
9 months, 90 pounds.
9 months and 90 pounds.
No loose skin.
That's actually pretty cool too, because some people, I think it's got a lot to do with genetics and how you train, and I think it's kind of how fast you lose the weight too. But some people that they have a problem, when they lose a lot of weight, they have the loose skin and all that stuff. But you actually had none, which was actually real impressive. I thought it was pretty cool.
Hey, you were drinking a lot of water, weren't you?
Yeah, a lot of water. And it doesn't hurt to be younger.
Oh yeah,
Got a lot
of
of
course.
elastin in my skin still.
Yeah, that made a big. I'm sure that made a big difference. But yeah, you got your first competition coming up. What numbers you trying to look to hit?
Well, on the bench, I'm doing a single fly.
Yeah.
On the bench, I'd like to hit 425. Squat, maybe 525, and the deadlift, I want to pull 500.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
been a big milestone to get 500.
Yeah. Have you pulled it in here?
I have.
You have?
I
That's
have.
right. That's right. How did it feel the first time you pulled 5?
There's no really words to describe it. It's the best feeling ever.
Really?
I felt like I was on top of the mountain.
It's better than sex, I'll tell you that.
It is. I'd take 500 pull-over sex every day. Well, not any day.
Well, yeah. But yeah, it's an awesome feeling, especially, you got a certain goal, you want to, I want to hit, you hit a certain levels, I want to hit 3 plates on the bench. And just knowing that feeling that you hit that, that 3-plate mark, that's a huge accomplishment for, anybody at any age.
I actually got that tonight. That felt good.
That's right. You hit it on the 2-board.
Yep.
2-board. That's right. You hit it once. You were trying for 3, but you got it at least once. That was pretty impressive. So that was cool.
That was pretty. The one rep that he got was pretty solid too. I felt he flared his elbows a little bit.
Yeah. It looked strong. It just wore you out for the other 2 though. But yeah, that was pretty good. And what'd you hit tonight?
435 for 3.
On the 2-board? Yeah. That does look real good. Still having a little trouble with your wrist. We got to get that going. But other than that, other than your wrist, you look pretty solid on the bench. Squat's been looking pretty good. Deadlift's I think your deadlift's finally starting to move a little bit.
Yeah.
All right.
My crux.
Yeah.
Deadlift.
Little fine tuning, but we'll definitely get it fixed up for your next competition. You've done 2 meets since you've been here. Well, take us through what your first meet experience was like.
Well, the first one, how can I explain it? Well, like you guys said with yours, I was very nervous.
Yeah.
I had, outside of wrestling in high school, I'd never been like the spotlight of anything except I played O-line and football. I didn't really care what I was doing with the coaches.
Yeah.
And that was, it was an experience. I was really nervous until after I hit my first squat. My first squat felt so easy.
Yeah.
So I picked a number that I knew that I could get.
Actually, it was about 450 something.
475.
470. Yeah.
And at the time, I was about a 500 squatter, but the 475 moved like butter.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, let's go up to 500 or something. I think I did 500 for my second attempt.
Mm-hmm.
And I went there, and that moved easy too. I did get a little bit overzealous though, because I was like, I think I can go 550.
Yeah.
Never squatted 550 before.
And that's the thing about a meet. Your first attempt should always be something that you know you can get, what we call a drunk or sober lift.
Yeah.
On a very bad day, you can get it. On a good day, you can get it. Of course, in gear, that's a little miscued because how your gear fits and all that stuff. Sometimes, if you're a little bit big for your gear, it might put you at almost max weight, just to be able to get it down and everything. So it's tough on that part. But as far as raw, a drunk or sober lift, you can press it, like on the bench, you can come down, press it good, and all that stuff. No trouble. I always feel like your second attempt should be at your max, maybe like a 5-pound PR, somewhere in that area. That's always a good thing to shoot for. And a third attempt, as long as everything goes good, shoot for the moon if you feel like it. Or if you're trying to go for a total, if you're really trying to work for a total, especially if it's a record or something, maybe inch it here, add a little bit of weight here and there as far as your lifts. But as far as third attempt, that's the attempt you can go to the moon with it.
Yeah, I'm glad I've been lifting here though, because the improvement that I had between my first and my second meet was quite a bit.
Yeah.
I put 100 more pounds on my squat.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was quite a year; it was a little bit less than a year.
Okay.
And I'd already put, getting that 500-pound squat was already putting 100 pounds from where I started here. So I've been putting about 100 pounds on my squat every year.
Yeah.
And since I've been here, which.
Now we've had to tweak your form a little bit, because I know we put you out wide, and then your dad did good on it, but I think you kind of maybe plateaued just a little bit, so I think we're trying to bring you back in just a little bit, so you can get a little bit better base when you stand and everything.
When I first came here, I was a really narrow stance squatter.
Yeah, that's right, I remember that.
High school. And that's what taught me in high school. And I came here, and I squatted a decent amount in high school. Not as much as I can squat now, nearly, but that time off hurt my squat more than anything.
Okay.
So I came here, and after a month of training, being an idiot and training squat every day, doing the Corey Gregory squat every day program, which is what I did for the month before I came in here. It took my squat from maybe, I think I could barely squat 315 when I started lifting, and I got up to maybe 365 training back into it.
Okay.
But then I went from that 365 squat that when I first came in here.
Yeah.
That's all I could get, to squatting almost about 500 pounds in that first 6 months between that when I first started here and my first meet.
Okay.
And then from that meet to my second meet, I put another 100 pounds and squatted 600 with relative ease, actually.
Yeah.
I should have done more weight for my third attempt in my second meet.
Okay. And how's your bench transition since then?
Oh, my bench, my bench has made a lot of improvement as well. When I first came in here, I think I could bench about 3 plates.
Yeah.
Like 315 or so.
I think it was a little bit, about 345 or so.
Was it 345?
I think so.
It's been a while. I think you might be right. I think it was about 345. But I'd always had just the way I'm built, I've always had a kind of more solid bench.
Yeah.
And I've improved that to about 4 plates an hour or so.
Yeah,
and 4 plates a couple of times.
Yeah, because like just even though it's a 2-board, you look fairly strong. You press 4 or 5 for 3 like it was nothing.
Yeah.
And then the 4, what was it? 4 to 25.
Yeah.
4 to 25. That flew up pretty good too. So I mean, the bench is definitely coming. It's come a long way, and your base strength's definitely there. Fine tweaking everything. That's really, and it's also, it seems like I say over the past couple months, we've definitely seen a big change in you. It's like I ain't gonna say you've taken it a little bit more seriously, but you've taken in account, you know, I need to really step up my game to really get to this level and stuff. So we've seen a big difference in that, and that's working pretty well.
Oh, part of it is just I've been putting a lot more effort into it than I was, because I've truly found that this is what I want to do, and I want to succeed in this sport.
Yeah.
And I see the type of effort you and Shane and some of the others put in.
Yeah.
And so I try to almost mock that, and I try and put in as much as I can give every year. A big part of the improvement, though, I think, has been changing up my diet.
Okay.
So that's something I'd never really done before. I'd always just kind of ate whatever I wanted to.
Yeah, I had that philosophy for a long time, but then as I got as I got dove more into knowing my body, what it needs and doesn't need and stuff like that, and actually the stronger I got, my body actually let me know, certain things I eat. It made me feel like crap after about an hour after I ate it. I'm like, all right, I got to cut that out. I've slowly started cutting certain things out. I mean, I don't eat great still, but I eat a whole lot better than I used to eat, and it's made a big difference.
I've been doing Shane recommended doing a vertical diet.
Yeah. And
that's what I've been doing. And over the past couple of weeks that I've been doing that, I've just been getting stronger and stronger. And I guess it's the diet. That's the only thing I changed.
Mm-hmm. It's just your body, it lets you fuel itself like it needs to and stuff.
Not nearly as tired as I used to be.
I was going to ask, you feel like you got more energy when you do that?
Every time I come in here, I feel great. I used to always come in here tired.
Yeah.
I was already tired from work and school and stuff like that. So, we looked at the end of the day. And on lifting days, I go to work and school.
Yeah.
So I wake up at 6:45 in the morning, and I go to work, and then I go to school, and I'm at school all the way until I come here.
Yeah.
So I don't get to really rest any.
I got you.
And I would come in here tired every time.
Mm-hmm.
I was always already tired when I got here.
Yeah.
Like I could lay down and I could sit in that chair out there and take a nap.
Oh yeah.
Every day. But now, after I start eating right, I come here, I have tons of energy.
Mm-hmm.
I can lift as hard as I need to. Get done to accomplish what I need to accomplish.
Now, let's see. I know you touched on it before, but you and Nate both did wrestling in high school.
Yes.
And you didn't wrestle, did you, Nate? No.
I rode the bench on football though.
How was that transition? In school, you going through that? What was that like? Going through school, wrestling in school and stuff like that.
I'll answer because I didn't want to say anything. I thought it was more fun than football.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because I was maybe better at it, but the team was a little bit closer knit than a football team.
Yeah, because it was a little bit smaller.
Smaller team,
yeah,
and the suffering is so great.
Yeah.
The combined suffering that everybody is in pain all the time.
Yeah.
From it, it's a very tough sport. It's very physically demanding. The sheer amount of running and stuff like that, it's one of those things where you can be in the best shape.
Yeah.
But they're still going to find a way to wear you out.
Oh yeah, of course.
They're not going. Nobody's going to ever have an easy practice.
Yeah.
So just that combined suffering, which is far worse than football.
Yeah.
Like that, misery loves company.
Yeah.
Everybody, it forms like this bond between everybody.
Yeah.
And we did some crazy shit back then for wrestling, conditioning wise.
Y'all did a lot of running though, right?
Yes. Miles a day.
We never really, of course, I never wrestled. We didn't have a wrestling team in high school. My high school actually didn't get one until 10 years after I graduated, and it sucked because I think almost every school around us had a wrestling team, so we could have competed against people, even though they wasn't in our school class or whatever, different divisions. But I don't know. I just I played football in middle school, C-team football, and then I went to the 9th grade camp, and I got to where I'm like, you know what, it ain't fun no more. It ain't quite what I want to do. And then at the same time, I was finding myself in lifting and everything.
Yeah.
And I got to realizing that, lifting this is what I want to do. So I stopped playing football and really focused on my lifting and everything. And that's I don't regret it none. Now I'd have to say if I didn't find my calling in lifting, I would have regretted playing. You know, not playing football and stuff. But I do think if they had a wrestling team back then, I do think I definitely would have at least tried it out.
Yeah, I think it's something everybody should try. 'Cause it's one of those things you find out how tough you are pretty quick. So there'll be a lot of kids who hear it's tough or things like that, so they're going to try it out.
Yeah.
But I'll guarantee, like after the first week, the team's cut in half.
Yeah.
So it was always as many people who came out. There was no like cut, like they weren't cutting people off the team or anything like that.
Yeah.
As many people who wanted to could come out and wrestle.
Okay.
But we'd always end up barely being able to fill out the weight classes after we started the season with like 30 guys.
Yeah.
And there's only, what was there, 13 weight classes, I think, or 14, something like that, I don't really remember. We'd always end up having classes that didn't have somebody, so we didn't have enough people on the team.
Oh yeah, and then you might have probably one class that's stacked up or something.
Yeah, we'd have a couple other, we probably had, I don't know, 15 or 16 guys on the team at a time by the end of the season.
Yeah, yeah. Now there's only a few years difference between both of y'all, ain't it?
Yeah, was it 3 years? Yeah.
3 years. All right. So, would you say, you know, what made you get into wrestling? Watching your brother play, or
Watching him do it, and it just looked really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever try to, you know, I guess you could say, try to outdo him in certain things? Yeah.
Yeah, it was everything. Football, wrestling. I was always kind of following in his footsteps,
Yeah.
but I always wanted to do better.
Yeah, of course. And what do you think? Is there a big difference? And probably, you know, even though there's only a few years apart, did they change up the programming any by the time you got up in there versus when he was in there, or are they pretty much about the same?
It was about the same.
Okay.
The only difference was we got a new coach.
Yeah. Well, now was there a difference in coaches? I mean, as far as what they wanted?
I'd say his coach was a little tougher on him.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you play any sports in high school, Nick?
I played football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. How was that?
It was okay. I got benched probably the third game of my senior year.
Uh-oh.
But I think it has more of a thing to do with me being distracted because I had a girlfriend at the time.
Ah, yeah.
That's one of my regrets.
Yeah. It happens.
It does.
So other than football, did you lift weights any?
I did. We had to lift weights for football.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And it was just an elective that we could go.
Yeah. Like when you was lifting for football, did you really try to take it serious, or did you just lift just because you had to?
I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
At the end of it, I started to realize, hey, I'm one of the stronger people in my weightlifting class.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always been friends with Hunter here. He was always the strongest person in the school.
Yeah.
So I'd always try to compete with him.
Okay. And it's you know, that kind of goes with our philosophy here. You know, if you want to better yourself, you put you around people that are better than you, because you want to strive to be just as good as them, if not better. And then you know, you get around somebody on that level, it makes you work harder. Just, you know, good atmosphere and stuff like that. So it makes a difference.
I've already picked out my target goal. I want to be stronger than by the end of the year.
Oh yeah, who's that?
I can't say.
You can't say it.
I don't want to say it.
Oh, come on now, spill the beans.
I can't say it.
Can't say it. Well, I
In
mean,
my ear, I'm curious. Okay.
this microphone picked it up anyway.
Right here?
But no, and that's awesome to have. You know, even if you, even in having your own personal goals, as far as I want to hit this much weight and this much weight. You know, it's not a bad thing to have the type of goal where you want to, try to outdo somebody. You know, one thing here, especially to somebody that's, what we've always done, especially, with the conjugate system, we do all these different crazy exercises and stuff, boards and chains and, wide close, grips and all that stuff. You might hit a certain lift, it might make you weaker, but somebody else has an advantage on, of whatever reason, and it might put you neck and neck, and then, like with us, the first person, you going at it, it makes you work hard, but if they beat you, I'm going to be if that person beats me, I'm going to be the first person to shake their hand, be like, man, that's awesome, but next week I'm coming back at you.
One of my favorite moments here is I beat Hunter, who's always been stronger than me. We did banded deficit deadlifts.
Yeah.
And I pulled, I think, about 100 more pounds than him.
That wasn't that much. I think I think you outdid me by like 20 pounds. I think I pulled like, I didn't pull much because I could barely get down and touch the bar. We were at such a deficit and I'm so fat.
I might be exaggerating, but that's how happy I was.
I could barely get, oh yeah, I know you were. And I was kind of pissed off about it similarly, but I gave it to you. I was like, man, good job.
And that was like, and that's one thing about, you know, like take Big Joe. You know, he come from almost nothing and he's built his way up. And like I literally have to work hard to keep myself ahead of him. And there's some nights, you know, we've tied up and everything. And I have to work extra hard to want to try to stay ahead of him and everything. So it makes me work harder in the process.
I've seen you chip him a few times.
Yeah, you know, it happens.
You have to.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was gonna say the biggest thing that I've had to overcome though here is because I've landed in the middle.
Mhm.
There's people like you and Joe and Shane who are way stronger than me,
Mhm.
and then everybody else I'm kind of ahead of.
Yeah.
But the gap between me and some of the other guys is so far. Like I don't really have anybody to really compete with.
Kind of one-on-one. Yeah.
So I end up having to just try and beat myself every time.
I got you. It's tough. Because it is very nice to have that person that's right there with you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, you know, back in the SciFit days with me and Shane, we were on the bench, we were neck and neck, and the squat, we were neck and neck, and stuff like that. Of course, he always had me in the deadlift, but
yeah, he's a deadlifting fiend.
oh yeah,
I don't know how he does it.
But you know, it just, you know, back and forth, and we fed off that.
Mm-hmm.
It can be done if you don't have somebody that's, you know, right there with you. I will say that it's a little bit harder, but you can get it done. You just got to stay a little bit more focused. And I'd say look at the guys ahead of you. You'd be like, all right, I know I'm within a certain percentage of their weight. So if I can get this much, and of course, you know, you try to beat what you yourself.
Yeah.
Trying to do better than what you did last time. Trying to do a personal record, all that stuff. But it's nice to have that little extra and be like, all right, I'm chasing after this guy. I'm gonna keep chasing until I find him. What's up, Ryan? Hey, guy. Ryan Benish. Everybody. You don't want to come in?
No.
My new philosophy is, I mean, they might be stronger than me, but they probably won't outwork me.
That's a good one to have.
Sort of strong.
Yeah. And it just you have to, you know, really, and you might get lost in the process of, you know, I'm gonna work hard, and especially as long as you know, do it right, don't overdo it and stuff like that. You know, before you know it, you're actually way stronger than you used to be, and you're like, man, where'd the time go? You know, stuff like that. So it helps to have somebody to push you, but at the same time, you can do yourself. You just have to find certain ways to, like, certain points, like, you know, pick out somebody. I want to be stronger than that guy. You know, I'm going to at least get within so close of him. You calling me out?
No.
Harambe's calling me out.
Give me about 4 years.
Oh, you can get there.
You'll probably be in a nursing home by then.
Nah, maybe not. Hopefully not.
Yeah, no, they look like 40 something. Or well, no, they're gonna be like 34 or something like that. Once you're 30 years old, right?
31.
31. You
Yeah.
35 before you say, I hope you're in a nursing home.
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing it 13 years. I feel like I'm that old. I heard it every day. Now, pretty much all of y'all are kind of transitioning into gear a little bit more now. Now, you've played with it here and there since you started.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what. Tell everybody what it feels like to get in gear.
Oh, it's
All of y'all.
It's go first.
When I first stood up with 500 pounds in gear squatting, I didn't realize I had to stay tight,
Yeah.
and I pretty much collapsed
Mhm.
because the gear will help you to an extent, but if you're not tight, that you're gonna fold under the weight.
Oh yeah, because it ain't gonna do it for you.
Yeah.
It's just it helps you assist up. You know, of course, a lot of people say, you know, raw strength is real strength and stuff like that. And I say, yeah, raw strength is real strength. But you know, you add gear with it. You're taking your absolute strength and then plus some. You know, with the stress of the gear, the pressures it puts you under, you know, the weight. You know, keeping your body weight in check, make sure it fits right.
You have to control the weight a
Yeah.
lot better.
Yeah, because you know, you got them, like I say in the bench shirt, you got your bubbles you got to stay in, what we call a bubble. Because if you get over just too much, you dump it out or dump it straight in your face or something. Well, what's it like? You have a hard night or a good workout in gear, stuff like that. What do you feel like afterwards?
Well, this past week, I think we did bow bar squats with a lot of band tension.
Yeah.
And the next day at work, I work manual labor, so my legs are shaking all day.
I'll bet.
My CNS was just shot.
It's definitely a different feeling. It's a different kind of tired. It's like you do a meet, and you doing it raw. You done 2 raw meets, and like I said, I've done 2 raw meets in the 13 years I've been doing this, but to me doing the raw meets was overall easier because I was tired afterwards, but it was a different kind of tired. I didn't feel straight beat up afterwards.
Yeah, I was gonna say I haven't even done a meet in gear, and I can already tell you it'd be harder.
Yeah, and just working in it and stuff. It's different animal, but y'all definitely, especially you, Nate, you've handled it well. You definitely. So I've seen some people over the years while I've been doing it that come in, to get in gear a little bit, and it's almost like taking a new person and trying to teach them form and correct form and all that stuff. Some people just get it, and you tell them what to do, and their body just naturally does it. And that's one thing that we noticed with you, especially spreading out real good, sitting down on the box and everything. Your body just naturally grooves to the gears. So it's pretty cool to see.
It is pretty neat.
The single ply squat is my new favorite lift.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice. I've always, especially after a good heavy squat night, I've always been able to tell that I've had my biggest appetite after doing a heavy squat. What do you, your transition to gear in a little bit, do you think your body's like ask for more food and stuff like that, like a transition with that?
I've noticed since I've started gear lifting here lately again, I put on a lot of weight because I'm eating and lifting gear.
Yeah, well, but it's good weight too, though.
Yeah, it's a great weight.
Well, and what it is you're putting your body through that little bit much more stress, so your body's going to naturally grow to acclimate for the stress that you're putting it under. Like with me, like my first powerlifting meet, I was 198, but as I started wearing the gear and stuff like that, I kept growing, and I definitely I remember when I did the nationals, I was in the 220 class, and that was like in April of that year. And then when I went to the Worlds, I think it was in August, I had jumped a whole weight class, and but my body I was starting to hit the weights I've never really hit before, and putting them on my back and in my hands and stuff like that, and my body naturally grew to compensate for it. So I've always liked that idea of it. What you think you see yourself staying in gear or just playing with it more, or?
Well, I'm doing this meet single ply, and I'll see how it goes from there. But I'd like to get multiple.
Okay.
I'd like to invest in my own gear.
Yeah. It's definitely something. The one thing about gear, I would say, it's expensive as hell. And then you take the risk of sometimes stuff blowing out on you. Then you got to run and buy it all again and stuff like that. Or you get too big or too small for it. You got to buy something else. But to me, it's all the time and effort, and especially the money that's being dumped into it. The feeling you get, after you hit a good day, a good total, is it's an awesome feeling. That's well worth it. So, right, you're definitely, Hunter. You're definitely training. You're gonna do your next meet's probably gonna be in gear, right?
Yes.
Okay. How do you feel about your lifts coming so far?
The squat, I'm not quite as sure because the suit that I've been using is pretty tight on me, and I'm not sure what it's going to take for me to hit depth.
Yeah.
But when I do a meet, I would like to total 2,000.
Okay. That's an awesome goal to hit, especially for your first gear meet.
Because I'm hoping to. I'm not really sure what I can squat in that suit. That's kind of the problem. I haven't done it enough.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I
yeah.
haven't.
Well,
I put that 800 on my back, but I couldn't get down all the way, and it felt pretty easy coming up.
Yeah.
But like I said, I didn't get down all the way,
Yeah.
so that's the hardest part of the lift.
Oh yeah, of course, and definitely. that little bit of that transition at the bottom, especially the pressure you have down there, it's just, of course, time under tension. You gotta, you're just working it more. And the only thing with like when we use the conjugate method, you're not in gear as much as you would say, how other people train and stuff. Because we do, your 3-week wave of raw, and then we get in gear, stuff like that. And sometimes, of course, depending on the person, you might do 2 weeks in a row in gear, if you need it. And there's always nothing wrong with that. Go 2 weeks in a row, as long as you can keep going, maybe even 3 weeks in a row. But I definitely wouldn't do it that over 3 weeks. Before
This past month, and I was beat.
Oh,
That's a
I bet.
mistake I'll never make again.
Yeah, doing it 4 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
So you did squat, bench, and squat and bench in the gear.
And deadlift
Yes,
too.
and then we did deadlift.
That's right. That's right.
That's the first time I ever deadlifted gear.
How'd that feel?
It's different. It's different. It's something I'm gonna have to get used to because I'm a conventional puller, and most people pull sumo in gear.
Not like my first meet ever. I pulled conventional in gear, but I like doing the conventional raw because for me in the gear, I feel like I can't sit back like I need to, and I just can't. It pulls me over the bar, and I feel like I can get just as much pop raw as I can in a suit. So I do it just because it feels more naturally doing it raw. But just the way I'm built, my body's definitely acclimated to do a squat and bench, geared up and everything.
As far as the gear goes, when I first started coming here, I wasn't 100% sure if that's what I wanted to do, and then I tried it. I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do.
Yeah, it's definitely it gives you a certain ride feeling. You hit it, and you're like, man, that felt good. And of course, you're handling more weight than you normally would raw. And I wouldn't say it's a false sense, because that's gear lifting is a complete separate entity from raw and stuff like that. So you're not trying to break their records or nothing like that. But it's an awesome feeling to know you can put that much more weight on your back or in your hands, and that put your body through that element of stress. You touch and go, touch and press. And then squat, you break parallel and come back up. It's an awesome feeling.
It is. I was talking to some people at school today about I had a little break between two of my classes, and we were talking about training, and I was talking about how I've been lifting in gear when they didn't know what it was, of course. It's a bunch of normal people. But I was like, the amount of pressure it puts you under is insane.
Yeah.
But it feels like and it hurts. A little bit, but it feels so good. And they were like, I don't think I...
That doesn't make sense. So it hurts, but it feels good. Well, how's that work?
I can't explain it. You got to do it.
Yeah.
You got to try it.
Well, what's now that you've transitioned into gear a little bit, what do you say is your overall goal? Or your intermediate goals coming up?
I like to show 2000 at a meet soon. And after that, the more I learn it, because I'm pretty much brand new to it.
Yeah.
If I can get my bench if I can fix my wrists and I can get into a multiply shirt.
Okay.
So right now I'm benching that closed back single ply.
Yeah.
And I'm benching about 600, and that's pretty close to 600, a little right under.
Yeah.
I have a couple of goals. I'd like to squat 1,000. I would like to bench 700.
Okay.
As far as my deadlift goes, I'd like to pull 6.
Yeah.
Sometime, not too far.
Me and you, I'd say we're built pretty close. Yours just a little bit on a bigger level.
Yeah.
And that's my hardest lift, my deadlift. I think that's yours too.
It is.
It's just, I got a tiny Burger King hand, so it happens. But you squat and bench, you build that up like to a monster lift, and then to me, I've always had the deadlift I call it just there to carry me over. Of course, you try to build it up and inch it up too, to help your total out and everything.
Yeah, but I would also like to sometime in the maybe not near future, but like you said, intermediate goal, like an intermediate goal for me is I'd like to get a pro total.
Yeah.
And within like the next probably year or two. Cause I feel like I don't know for sure what's going to really happen, but I feel like as I learn the gear a little bit better, I'll be able to put on more poundage into my lifts.
Yeah.
You know, a little bit faster. Like I think that like the 2,000 pound total, I think is something that I could possibly pull off soon. But that's barely knowing how to really use it. And if I learn better, I could probably put a couple more.
Yeah.
A lot more poundage on faster than you just say. Like instead of me just getting stronger, learning the gear a little bit.
Yeah.
Could probably
All right.
help me out.
So, all right, when you first ever walked in these doors, your goal was to compete in powerlifting and, you know, get strong, right?
Yeah.
What, are you messing with Shane out there?
Fine.
Come here, Ryan. Ryan's our buddy. Hey. But all right, Nick, when you first come in, did you actually have a goal when you walked in, or did you just come to try it out, or?
I've always wanted to be strong
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like as a man I should be strong.
Yeah.
I feel like the generation is getting weaker and weaker as they go by.
Definitely, there's definitely a softer
Mm-hmm.
feel there. I mean, as far as just the work ethic and stuff like that. Stuff I've noticed over the years, and I've heard a lot of people say. Even my old, I remember I met one of the football coaches where I went to school at, and he was my weightlifting coach for a little while. You know, I talked to him about the dynamic of, you know, the younger generation, stuff like that. And even he says that they've noticed that it's harder, even a little bit harder for them to try to get them to get motivated and stuff like that. So it's pretty. It's amazing, you know. Over the years, you would think everybody would go up, but it's actually starting to go down. So what do you think? How have your goals changed from since you started to like right now?
Well, when I came here, I would tell myself I wanted to be strong, but I would just come in here and not really lift like I should. And
you come just to come,
yeah,
pretty much,
just
and
come.
just kind of work out.
And now I try to push myself every day I'm in here.
Good. I tell you what though, you and Nate, y'all two, when you have a grind on the lift, y'all got two of the hardest grinds I've ever seen. And because you definitely don't stop, and you put it, you know, drive all the way through. And y'all take like 50,000 years to get a lift in.
Deadlift.
You know, we all get tired of hollering at you, go. But that's awesome to see, and it gets me pumped up just to see you push that hard to want to have the, you know, you want that lift. It shows that you want that lift so bad that you're willing to push that hard and that long to get it. Where do you see yourself in the future?
This might sound a bit ambitious, but like Hunter, I want a pro total.
Okay.
And this isn't something I'm just dabbling in. I want to do this for life.
Yeah, you thought about it lately, and this is something you really want to do. That's awesome.
I spend my weekends here.
Mm-hmm.
Come here after work. I'm tired from work, but that doesn't stop me anymore.
No, yeah.
Getting used to it.
Okay. All right, Nate. What was kind of your mindset and your goals when you first walked in the door?
Well, when I first walked in, my main goal was just to get stronger for wrestling.
Okay.
Because that was coming up my senior year.
Yeah, that's right.
And then after that, I noticed I was getting bigger, getting stronger, and I started to love it.
Uh-huh.
But for wrestling, I ended up having to cut weight, and I lost a lot of muscle doing that.
Yeah.
And that just kind of made me not want to lift as hard.
Yeah.
It kind of discriminated me.
Right.
Threw me off track.
Well, I mean, you know, you're still in school and you're wrestling. Your main focus was still wrestling, and you know, there's nothing wrong with that. And you're trying to incorporate this in with it, and so you kind of put, you know, you still shifted your main focus, or you kept your focus shifted towards wrestling, which, you know, it hinders you in here some, but you know that's what you had to do, and then of course, you know, you took a little time off. You know, after your wrestling season was over with, but you come back and you've been going hard ever since, and I thought it was pretty cool. Have you had any I say over long time goals that you want to try to shoot for, or just continue to get stronger?
Just continue to get stronger right now.
Okay.
Just keep competing.
Yeah. So you do want to do some more competitions. Good. All right. Let me ask this. what's it like? You know, since y'all been here for a while now, and you, as time goes on, your dedication towards this sport and being here, at, you know, at this gym with your teammates and everything, the dedication grows. You dive more into it. You know, with body maintenance and the training and eating and all this stuff. What's up, you know, as far as, you know, everybody in here, we all have the same goal. We know each other. We know what it's like for the grind and stuff like that. What's it like having some, you know, your friends and family on the outside looking in, seeing y'all transition like y'all have?
They don't understand.
No, definitely not.
I get home at 11 o'clock at night and my grandma self, she's like, "What are you trying to prove, Nick? Why are you out at the gym that late?"
Like, don't worry about it, Grandma.
Bake some cookies.
Yeah. What would y'all say, especially like with your families and stuff like that?
Well, my mom is pretty much in full support of it, but she's kind of been around it before because my uncle had like a while. He still lifts to this day. He's like 50 or so now.
Okay.
I think. But when he was a lot younger, he'd competed in powerlifting, and
Okay.
he'd been lifting since he was like 13 or 14. So
Yeah,
she
yeah,
grew up with that. You know, the whole. Well, she even lived with him for a while, I believe, when he was competing in powerlifting. So she kind of saw what.
Okay, so she's seen it before, and now she sees her son wanting to get into it.
Yeah.
So she
understands.
She understands, more accepting of it. Like with my parents, of course, you know, my grandpa and my dad both play football. You know, so I'd say my family's more football driven. And I took a different course. You know, I lifting weights and powerlifting is my thing. I'd say my dad, like, he I guess he understands kinda, as far as the whole, you know, being in the sports and stuff like that. But it's a different sport, so he gets it. He supports me, but there's still that not fully understanding, you know, like that. You know, cause like my parents, they don't understand why I put my body through what I have. Like why I, you know, spend so much time here and there, missing out on certain things and stuff like that. So that's definitely, and even in the 13 years, my mom, she still don't understand it, but she's like, you know, just, you know, don't get hurt. But I like, is it you feel like it's tougher with your other friends outside of here? You know, not spending as much time with them and stuff.
What friends outside of here?
No, that's it.
That's pretty much where my friends are now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
I do remember coming up here on Christmas though, and we did a future method deadlift.
Yeah.
I was like, "Mom, I'm going to the gym." She's like, "Really? You're going to the gym on Christmas?
Uh-huh.
You're supposed to be here with your family." I'm like, "I got other family to go see."
Yeah, y'all boring. Other than the food, where's the food at? And there's actually been times, I remember, I know it was one Christmas Eve, I worked out by myself, back when I was in the old place at my parents' house. That was one time I did by myself. And I know there was maybe one or two Christmases me and Shane did worked out. You know, of course, other team members that we had them were older and they had their families and kids and stuff like that. So, you know, their priorities were with them, which is nothing wrong with that. But but me and Shane, you know, of course, we had nothing else to do, and that's what we wanted to do was lift. So on Christmas Day, you know, we were out there lifting and stuff. So, what is it like? And of course, y'all been to other gyms before too, right?
Yeah.
All right. What would you say is the difference from Dirty South and the other gyms?
Biggest difference is that really just the atmosphere, like I was saying earlier. You come in here and we all lift together.
Mm-hmm.
We all push each other.
Mm-hmm.
That's something you don't find at many other gyms.
Yeah.
Like I lifted at Dino's in Warner Robins for a while, which is a pretty good gym.
Yeah.
But it's nothing like here.
Yeah.
I'd go in there and I'd have a couple of friends with me that were lifting with me at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and we'd go in there and we'd push each other.
Yeah.
But nobody else in the gym gives a crap.
Yeah, I mean, of course, you got a majority of the crowd that'll sit there and look at you funny, because we actually went there before we found this
I was
place.
actually training there when you guys were there.
Was you?
Yes, I was.
I don't remember that.
Well, I was like, it was a while ago.
Okay.
But I remember seeing you guys. I was like, I was just like, who are all these people
Like, what's
wearing the
wrong with
same
them?
shirts?
Oh yeah. See, that's before I met old Joe and them and Shane. Right when I was in high school, as I started talking to them and stuff, like I walk in this gym, and there's a bunch of guys, and back then they had the blue denim shirts, and everybody had a blue denim shirt on. I'm like, what the hell are they wearing? Like, because I didn't understand it, and then I slowly, started to learn and all that stuff, and I was like, okay, that's what I want to do.
Yeah, I thought it was weird 'cause I didn't know anything about any type of gear.
Yeah.
Until I started lifting here, and like I was like, why are those guys not touching the box in all their squats? 'Cause
Yeah.
You guys were still like they're moving a lot of weight, but they're not moving it all the way because they weren't heavy enough to get all the way down.
Or
yet.
even not
Or
being
not,
able to
not
touch.
I was like, why aren't they touching their chests?
Yeah,
Why
yeah.
are they wearing funky clothes?
Yeah. Well, what is this?
Why are they having jeans on their arms? Daisy Dukes.
That's right.
No,
No.
it was just some weightlifting plebe back then, or pleb, wherever you say it. And just
Yeah.
going in there doing stupid stuff.
Yeah.
No idea what I was doing.
But yeah, it's and that's what we try to instill the atmosphere of. You come in here, you get jacked. You walk in the door, you be like, hell yeah, let's go.
Yeah,
You got
it's
that.
intense.
Yeah, let's train. Of course, and then. And we got all kind of people. We have people here that don't train powerlifting. They just come in here and do their own little thing, and that's cool. And of course, we got our strongman group of guys that do just strongman. They come in on the different days, and sometimes on the same days we do, and they're doing something totally different. But as far as our little powerlifting group, we're always, even some that come in later, and we try to start at 6 o'clock and stuff like that. Around 6:30, and we're always. No matter who is in that group training them today, we always try to push each other and stuff. No matter what weight you're doing or who it is, male, female, beginner, we're gonna push you and try to make you stronger.
We like it enough to commute 30 minutes 4 times a week.
That's right, y'all live in Warner Robins, right?
Robins.
Yeah. So it's about what you said, 30 minutes?
30 minutes.
Yeah, it's about 25 for me and for Scythe, but yes, I mean it's well worth the drive.
Yeah, it is. It's just coming up here for the knowledge alone.
Yeah.
Is worth it.
Yeah.
The advice that people give you here.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I mean I could still do it. It's in walking distance from my house. I live on the same road.
Okay.
It's right on Watson and
Yeah.
the Briarcliff right there. I live on Briarcliff.
Okay.
And so it's within walking distance of where I live at. I could go there, but I choose to take the 30 minutes.
I understand.
And drive up here. I actually when I get off of work, and I work right down the road from here.
Mm-hmm.
I work on New Street. I drive all the way from basically right down the road, all the way down to Warner Robins, just to pick these guys up, and then drive all the way back here.
So you drive from Warner Robins to Macon to work.
Yes.
So you drive from work in Macon to go back to Warner Robins, pick your buddies up, and then drive all the way back to the gym.
Yeah, it's completely worth it to me.
Yeah. Okay. That's awesome. Let's see. What do you feel? I mean, other than the atmosphere, what else do you like about here?
People.
Yeah.
You can't beat them.
Yeah.
I can sit here and listen to you or Shane, Joe, talk about strength and basically life. I mean, people here help you with your problems, whether it's lifting or outside of the gym.
Yeah. And that's, we try to not just help people get strong, but, we build that brotherhood together and then, become buddies. And then, of course, your outside life, you try not to let it interfere in here, but, everybody's got their own little thing they're going through. You try to be as positive about it as you can and just get through it and tough it out. And then if you're having a bad night, you might need to chill tonight. We might have to tell you, take it easy tonight. Hit some accessory work. Get some work in, but don't kill it. Save it for the next day, and we try to help each other out and everything. So it's always nice to, and I have even on my day, I come in and I'll have a tough day like that. But even when I have a tough day, when y'all come in, even watching y'all come in and you work hard, stuff like that, it jacks me up and gets like, hell yeah. And even when I don't have a good night, watching y'all have a good night, you know, it makes me have a good night overall. Just watching everybody grow and everything. So that's cool. Well, I'll say that's pretty much about it. I'm about to starve. I'm ready to go eat, and I got to go to work tonight.
Eat some Easter leftovers.
That's right. But it's definitely been fun, and keep training hard, and we'll love to see y'all grow, and you know, keep at this for a very long time. But it's been fun. But all right, that's it.